I didn't get the opportunity to review Season 1 of The Rings of Power. Seeing as Season 2's been released, I thought I'd go back, review Season 1, whilst I let Season 2 wrap up. I went into Rings of Power with high expectations. Being a huge Lord of the Rings fan, I was curious and I was also nervous because I wasn't sure how they were going to be able to handle this era of Middle-earth. But when I saw one of the opening scenes with Galadriel come up, I felt this huge rush of Lord of the Rings excitement coming back to me. The Rings of Power takes us to Middle-earth's Second Age, long before Lord of the Rings. Different races, elves, dwarves, and men face an uneasy peace as an ancient evil begins to rise. We follow characters like Galadriel and Elrond, who sense the growing threat. The main conflict is the rise of Sauron's darkness. While some are unaware, others like Galadriel are determined to stop it, which causes division. It's a struggle between holding on to peace and preparing for war. The season sets the stage for an epic battle ahead. It doesn't resolve anything, but it still builds tension and anticipation, hooking us in while leaving us eager for what's to come. We're getting 8 episodes that are roughly made up of an hour in length, so we're actually getting some pretty lengthy episodes in this show. One scene that really hooked me from the show was when Galadriel was hunting Sauron's forces in the frozen wasteland. The tension is tense as her and her team go deeper into the darkness, not knowing actually what they're going to find. You can feel the danger and the weight of her mission in every moment. This scene is important because it shows how far Galadriel is willing to go to find the truth. It's not just about a quest. It's about her determination to fight the evil that others can't see. The twist happens when they actually find something, signs of Sauron's presence, and it's not what they expected. Realizing the enemy is closer than they thought makes everything more urgent and dangerous. They manage a narrow escape, but it leaves a big impact. Galadriel's resolve is even stronger now. It's a small win, but it raises the stakes for what's coming next. This resolution made me feel both relieved and excited. Relieved because they survived, and excited because it's just the start. It kicks off that sense of intrigue, because you want to then kick on and get hooked into the show. One area that I noticed gaps was in the pacing of some of the plot lines. Some story arcs, like the one involving the Southlanders, felt underdeveloped or rushed. Some transitions between key events did feel choppy, making parts of the story feel inconsistent. These issues did affect my enjoyment a bit. The story is interesting, slow at times, but still interesting, but these gaps actually just took me out of the experience. It made some parts feel rough, but it didn't ruin the overall excitement of the season. What I will say as a side note is that I actually put out a poll between Season 1 and Season 2 of The Rings of Power in the Binge Watcher community, and I have to say I really value all of your inputs. Now, as I said, I haven't read the books, but there were some really interesting points made in the community section of Binge Watcher, which I just completely forgot about, which is the alignment of this new TV show to the books, which actually, based on some of the comments that were written, it doesn't align. There seem to be huge gaps, so I completely get why fans are going to be enraged by that. I felt the same personally with Harry Potter. There were loads of gaps in the movies created by leaving certain parts out of the books, which actually provide a lot more clarity. The season stars Morfydd Clark as Galadriel, Robert Aramaeu as Elrond, Charlie Vickers as Halbrand, Markella Kayanag as Nori Brandyfoot, Sophia Norm Vetti as Dissa, Owen Arthur as Durin, and Lloyd Owen as Elendil. Now, who are the ones to watch in Season 1? And the ones to watch for me are Galadriel, Elrond, Halbrand, Durin, and Elendil. Now, who is the one to watch out of the ones to watch? Now, I found this decision to be a much more easier one compared to other reviews that I've done. And for me, the one to watch is Galadriel. Galadriel's arc is not just about fighting evil. It's a deep dive into her personal struggle and her growth. Watching her go from a vengeful warrior into a leader with doubts is a gripping portrayal. One key moment for Galadriel is when she ventures into the frozen wastelands, driven by her quest to uncover the remnants of Sauron's forces. This scene is pivotal, as it shows her determination and the extent she's willing to go for the greater good. Galadriel faces a major challenge. She's battling against the rising darkness of Sauron, while many around her remain skeptical or are unwilling to act. Her struggle is not just physical, but also emotional, as she must push through the doubt and opposition. She deals with this challenge by persisting in her quest and eventually finding critical evidence of Sauron's return. Her relentless drive and leadership help rally support, setting the stage for future battles. Her strength and unwavering commitment make her an inspiring and complex character. Watching her navigate through these challenges makes you root for her and appreciate the broader struggle she represents. Now let's talk about Elrond's journey. Elrond's main challenge in Season 1 is all to do with handling Middle-earth's politics, whilst balancing his leadership duties with his personal loyalties. He's torn between protecting his people and helping Galadriel fight Sauron. He's also dealing with growing tension between different realms and races. Elrond's story revolves around him successfully forging key alliances and making difficult decisions that help advance the fight against darkness. His efforts contribute to the crucial coalition forming to confront the growing threat, showing his growth as a leader and his ability to unite diverse groups. Elrond's journey leaves you with a sense of respect for his diplomatic skills and dedication. His ability to navigate complex situations and his commitment to his principles make him a deeply admirable character. Watching him manage these challenges adds depth to his character and enhances your investment in the story's progression. Now let's talk about Halbrand's story. Halbrand's main challenge in Season 1 is all to do with dealing with his mysterious past and also staying ahead of the dark forces. He wrestles with his identity and actions, hiding secrets that could actually impact the fight against Sauron. His struggle and need to prove himself make his journey both intriguing and complex. Halbrand's story ends with significant revelations about his true identity and his role in the broader conflict. As the season progresses, he starts to embrace his destiny and take on a more active role in the fight against evil. His journey towards self-acceptance and his impact on the story's progression are pivotal. Halbrand's journey invokes a mix of curiosity and empathy. His struggle with his identity and his eventual acceptance of his role adds layers to his character. Watching him come to terms with his past and find his place in the fight against darkness makes his arc compelling and adds depth to the overall narrative. Now let's talk about Durin. Durin's main challenge in Season 1 is all to do with him trying to handle the political and personal tensions within the Dwarven realm. He has to balance loyalty to his family and his people while facing external threats and internal conflicts. Durin's story resolves with him making crucial decisions that help stabilize his realm and address the challenges his people face. His efforts lead to a better understanding between the dwarves and their allies, and he plays a key role in the unfolding events against the growing darkness. Durin's journey makes you appreciate his resilience and leadership. His ability to handle both personal and political challenges adds depth to his character. Watching him navigate these trials and contribute to the broader fight against evil enhances your respect for his role and investment in the story. Now, let's get into Elendil's story. Elendil's challenge in Season 1 is all to do with him needing to lead his people through some really hard times whilst also having to navigate the complexities with the growing rise of Sauron. He struggles to balance his leadership duties with personal sacrifices to protect the realm. He needs to unite different groups and gather enough support to deal with the growing danger. Elendil's story resolves with him playing a crucial role in forming key alliances and contributing to the efforts against the rising darkness. His leadership helps set the stage for future battles, and he emerges as a key figure in the fight to preserve Middle-earth. Elendil's journey is inspiring and impactful. His dedication and leadership highlight his strength and commitment. Watching him rise to the occasion and lead his people effectively make you admire his character and feel a deep connection to the overarching conflict. When it comes to the visuals, one of the most standout moments for me in this season had to be when we get to see the elven city of Lindon. Lindon has lush, vibrant landscapes, intricate architecture, and shimmering lights. This scene shows the stunning beauty and advanced culture of the elves, setting a high bar for the show's visual world building. The visuals play a crucial role in adding to the tension by contrasting the surreal beauty of elven realms with the encroaching darkness of the rising threat. The contrast between the lush, peaceful settings and the threatening, dangerous landscapes makes the story's conflict feel even more intense. As the season goes on, the visuals play a big role in key moments by showing just how epic the battles are and highlighting the big twists in the story. The use of wide shots and detailed special effects make the high stakes and drama feel real. The visuals in The Rings of Power really bring the story to life by immersing you into this detailed world. They set the tone and deepen your connection to the story, making it more encouraging. The Rings of Power does offer a fresh perspective to The Lord of the Rings as a whole. Unlike the original films, which have way more action, this series focuses more on world building and character development, with new characters and storylines. My main challenge that I've found with The Rings of Power is all to do with its pacing and the numerous characters that have been introduced. At the beginning, it can get a little bit confusing. You're trying to figure out who's who and how the new characters all fit into the new narrative. The slow build-up and intricate plot building can actually make it sometimes more difficult to follow along. Overall, The Rings of Power does offer a fresh and unique experience. It might not be as action-packed as the original films, and it can feel slow or confusing at times, but it does provide a rich narrative that expands into the Lord of the Rings universe. Overall, I found The Rings of Power Season 1 to be a decent start in reigniting the Lord of the Rings. I thought the plot and storyline progressed well, with new alliances and territories being tested, though some parts feel a little bit slow and predictable. I thought the character development showcased some interesting evolution, but some of the arcs seem uneven or slow to develop. I thought the visuals and cinematography were impressive and fresh, but in comparison to the original movies, I don't think they quite captured the magnitude and scale when it comes to its detail. And when it comes to the entertainment value, The Rings of Power Season 1 is engaging and it does offer a rich experience. But if you're comparing it to the original movies, I don't think you'll ever be able to match the excitement. And based on some of the comments that I've seen from a poll that I put out in the Binge Watcher community, I definitely think that it's interesting to see how the series and the books seem to be very far apart. I think that's probably an understatement, and they're non-existent in their connection towards one another. I give Season 1 of The Rings of Power a 4 out of 5 buckets, meaning it's a binge-watching blockbuster. Now here's something to ponder. If you were living in Middle-earth in this time, would you join the fight against the rising darkness? Or would you try and live in peace, hoping the danger would never reach your doorstep? Let me know your answers down in the comments below. As always, don't forget to smash a like if you enjoyed, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and follow us on social media to stay up to date with the latest content. If you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more. I'm Matthew, this is Binge Watcher. Thanks for binging with me.